Joe, San Diego and Detroit. This is a tough one. San Diego is a 2.5 or 3-point home favorite, and to my eye, that's appropriate. You know, San Diego's getting the standard field goal home edge, and to my eye, you know, the teams do look very similar and very evenly matched. The total's 45.5 or 46. You know, Phillip Rivers, he's getting up there in age, but he's still an excellent borderline elite NFL quarterback. You know, the offensive line for San Diego was a disaster because of injuries last year. This year, probably going to be a lot better just because of that factor, the injury considerations alone. And then Detroit, maybe underwhelming and underachieving in general with Matt Stafford and Megatron, but still, you know, a potent offense, even if they're not quite as potent as people were hoping they'd be overall. San Diego minus 2.5 or 3, total 45.5 or 46. What's your take on this game, Joe?
My take is I wish these guys were meeting a little bit later on in the year, because these are two of my favorite, as I like to say, predictably unpredictable quarterbacks. We're both Phillip Rivers and Matt Stafford. They can be spectacular one week and atrocious the next week, and that's where we are able to bet on the unpredictability of that and had enormous success. Now, normally I'd want to go with an underdog when you're talking about such a matchup, but as you said, with a 3-point home favorite, that's not really an underdog. It's essentially a pick'em game with the 3 points because of the home field advantage. So there's not really much of an edge there. But I do think that, you know, both of these teams are going to go to more of a running game. They both realize that they're talented, but erratic quarterbacks need a much better running game. So with Amir Abdullah being added by the Lions and Melvin Gordon by the Chargers, I do think we're going to see a little bit more of a balanced attack and a run game. Of course, the Chargers do like to run the ball and play a fairly balanced attack, and of course, they don't really snap the ball. They're kind of the opposite of Chip Kelly, where they'll use a little bit of the play cock. The Chargers, their front seven is very weak, but their secondary strong. So if you believe that that Detroit is going to attack San Diego's weakness, the thing that you want to do is probably run against them a little bit more and maybe not pass against them. What does make me a little bit worried as far as the total is concerned, Calvin Johnson, we know, hasn't always been healthy in recent years. He's now enters the season as healthy as he's been in a while. So with Stafford capable of playing spectacularly, that makes me a little bit nervous. But I think, all in all, I expect this to be a low-scoring game, should be an under.
I agree with you. I feel like it's going to be a little bit conservative. It is a high total, 45.5 or 46. So do you want to go official on a play with the under at 46, Joe?
I will say, yeah, I'll go officially with a play on the under, because I think there'll be a decent amount of running in this game.
All right, we got Joe's free pick, under 46 in Detroit, San Diego. But, of course, Joe's top plays every week go where? At your website, offshoreinsiders.com, right, Joe?
That is correct, offshoreinsiders.com. Been given picks since the Score Phone days, recently featured on ESPN.com from those Score Phone days.
And congratulations on your success so far this football season.
Thank you, sir.